ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Melting Pot tonight. This is a special event in aid of International Women's Day 2015. This Social Entrepreneurs Chat Show is going to bring together 3 different social entrepreneurs, all at very different stages of their business and in their career as a social entrepreneur. But the one thing that unites them is that they all work in the area of women's empowerment, whether that's at a local, national or international level. So we're delighted to bring these speakers in and to share their learning experience with you tonight, for the people that are here and the people that are home watching this later on. It's been a very, very popular event, so if you are at home watching this, you've got a comfortable seat. The rest of us are a bit hot in here. The Melting Pot is Scotland's Centre for Social Innovation. We're a resource base for people who make social change, and we do all sorts of things to stimulate and support social innovation. If you want to know more, check out our website or come in and visit sometime. I'm going to invite my first speaker up tonight, who is Sylvia Douglas. I'm going to tell you a little bit about her. But before I do that, I better get it in. I'd just like to thank our sponsors for the night, which is the Scottish Government's Can Do Scotland initiative and the Women's Fund for Scotland, supported through Foundation Scotland. So thank you very much to them for making this happen with us. And thank you to our film crew. So, I have to have my notes. There's no expensive thing that I can read from afar. This is not the TV audience. So, our first guest tonight, Sylvia Douglas, is the one to watch for those of you who've seen our show before. This is a relative newcomer into the social enterprise scene. Sylvia found her vocation in life in the unlikeliest of surroundings, with her childhood mostly spent in care homes, the consequence of family abuse. She's always believed life is what you can make it. She discovered her entrepreneurial flair selling fags to children. What can I say? It's all good here, people. It's all good. When she was 10. By some makes all the difference. By some standards, she married quite young and had children, or a child. And lately, she's taken to the social enterprise world by selling knickers. They're not just any knickers. It's not your Marks and Spencer's 5 briefs in a pack or your thongs. These are empowerment pants. You may well have heard of them. In fact, I think it's time to show you them now. Empowerment pants. I've got mine on, but I'm not showing you them. So, Sylvia, would you like to come to the sofa, Sylvia? Welcome, Sylvia. It's not too nerve-wracking up here yet.
No, I'm just checking if we've got matching socks.
Matching socks.
Yeah.
I've got matching socks.
Good.
Yeah, we're doing all right. Check 1. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about your idea for where the pants came from, and what was producing and selling them. What does that enable you to actually do? What are these pants all about?
Yeah, well, actually, the pants came a wee bit later. I have a social enterprise in Springburn in Glasgow, and what I do is I empower young women. So I started to devise a workbook that looks at all aspects of a young woman and about empowerment, especially for young women and women that have gone through trauma like abuse and you know, kind of different things within their life. And I knew that I wanted to do that work. I knew that, and I quit my job and I went ahead and I started to do it. And what I found out really quickly was I didn't want to be grant dependent, and I knew that it was kind of, I have this phobia of forms that I find really, really difficult. I mean, it can take me, I can procrastinate and sit and look at a form for 3 hours.
How long for a grant form?
2 weeks for a grant form. And I knew that I didn't really want to do that anyway. I knew that I wanted to be self-sustaining through something. And we started to run the workshops in the community, and they became really successful, and you know, we started to see real impact being made, which was fantastic. And it was, we've seen real difference being made, and I wanted to extend that and offer that free of charge, because people were saying, we don't have the money, and I live in a really impoverished area, and I thought, well, I want it to be accessible. So the pants was something that happened on Christmas Eve. And I actually, you know, thongs and different things like that was, you know, I wanted to do something a wee bit different. I thought, what could I actually do that would be fun? Because empowerment is a really serious
topic.
Absolutely. So I wanted to make pants of it. And
No secret underwear fetish.
No underwear fetish, no, nothing like that at all. I won't go into actually really where they came from. But, and I had this idea and I thought empowerment, it's about women's empowerment, and I'd really like to do something that was a bit fun, so started to draw and pants came
Empowerment pants.
Empowerment pants. So I looked at trademarking them, design
Are they
register them. They are trademarked, so
Yeah.
you can't use them. It's like, and design register them and just look at all of that.
So tell us a little bit then about that process. You had an idea. You're doing women's empowerment work with young women. You need an income stream for that that's not dependent on you filling in forms. I understand that. And also broadens the reach and the appeal, and who knows about this stuff that you're doing. So how did you go about making pants? I have no idea. How do you make pants?
Well,
Where did you get the money from?
I didn't know how to make pants either. I started to look at what was out there already in the marketplace, and funding, and or a loan. We actually took a loan. We took a loan from Resilient Scotland, and it was a £6,000 grant and £12,000 loan.
Okay.
And what we did is we used that money to bring the manufacturing here so that we could actually sell the pants.
Here to Scotland?
Yeah.
Made in Scotland?
The thing is, the really ironic thing was I had to buy lots of pants, lots and lots of pants. I think I spent £180 on pants, about weight material and
your market research?
In my market research.
In Marks and Spencer's?
Yeah, in Marks and Spencer's, in my front room,
Yeah.
washing them by hand and hanging them out. And I remember the first time we had the 4 samples made. We got a lass from an organisation called Made in Glasgow, and she made the design for us with quite a lot of work, and I remember washing them, and I hung them out in the blue and the black and the pink and the green. And this woman, I live in a close, and this woman shouted out the window, "Oh, it's so good to see young women wearing drawers that actually cover their bits."
Quite agree.
So, but it was quite a difficult process. I mean, I didn't know anything about
manufacturing.
No, absolutely not. And looking at machines and materials and different things like that would have to happen to make these pants. So yeah, it was a wee bit of a challenge.
And where can people buy them now?
Well, we've got a stall up there at the back.
For the people who aren't in the room.
For the people that aren't in the room, you can get them online. We have very limited stock. We made one design to test the market, to see what people's response was about them, and we've had great success with them. We've made quite a lot of money out of selling them, which is great. And to date, that's funded 60 places for young women and women in the area. So we've had, from...
Just from selling pants. How many pants have you sold? 60 women.
I'm trying to see if it figures with the tax.
There's no one from the government here.
No. We've probably, I think, to date we've got about £18,000 in our bank account.
Wow.
Which is a lot
from
of money.
Earned income?
Yeah,
for
from
selling
earned
pants.
income, yeah.
18 grand?
Yeah.
Well done.
Well, not just from the pants, but we've actually started to devise the workbook that's actually taken us into organisations that are wanting us to run them with a small fee.
Oh, very good. So branching out in entrepreneurial activities all over. When did you set up Ms. and Mrs?
In 2013, and the reason I got the name was I was doing a counselling course, and it was something that came to me. I thought about all misses, because they'd ask, "Are you a Ms, a Mrs, a Mrs?" And I thought to myself, well, actually, I don't define myself by a Ms or a Mrs.
But you have to.
But I have to, yeah. So I'm told.
Yeah.
And
unless you're a doctor.
Yeah, yes, you're a doctor, absolutely. And I thought it'd be really great to have a programme that includes women in all stages.
Because you might become a Miss or Ms and then become a Mrs.
Absolutely.
And then go back.
Absolutely. So 2013, I quit my job, full-time work.
That's very brave. How did that feel to go down your follow your dream?
It was scary, but I don't know, there's something happens inside that you just think there's absolutely no way that I can't do this, and I need to make this happen. And it's, yourself, it's a really difficult journey, but there is something that happens and you just can't let go until you actually see it. So it becomes a vision, and then it becomes a reality.
Somehow.
Yeah.
somehow.
Any means.
So tell us a little bit about some of those 60 women that you've supported. I mean, I know your work's broader than that, but just those 60 women that you've supported. Tell us some of their life stories and how's the work you've done. Because the work of social enterprise is to change through social outcomes. So tell us about some of those outcomes.
Well, we've had. I think the youngest person that's ever been to one of my workshops is 13, and the oldest person that's been to the workshop is 63.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's a really broad range. So one particular young woman.
Sorry.
One particular young woman, 19, wee boy of 4, left school, no qualifications, a lot of abuse, a lot of trauma, and found herself in a situation where, because of a lack of self-care and self-esteem, she didn't know how to take care of herself, so she didn't know how to take care of her wee boy. And there was no boundaries in place, and so her life had become unmanageable. So she'd come to us on it was meant to be an 8-week programme, and it ended up lasting about 16 weeks. And she's gone back to college.
That's a great result.
And social services are no longer involved in her life.
That's amazing.
It's
all
great.
from selling some pants.
All from selling some pants, and being able to do that work. And because of that, we're looking to move into a community asset for the community centre and start manufacturing in the top floor and running different things on the bottom floor.
So that's sort of both job creation opportunities as well as the empowerment work. So different ends of the spectrum in how do you engage women and empower them. So tell us, you're in startup stage, and that's been going a few years now. Who's been there? Who's given you support? What advice have you had that's been right on for you? Where have the best forms of support come from you? For you?
In different ways. I mean, I've been really blessed with the people that I've actually met. Just, I first went to Firstport to get a level 1 to test the idea, and I remember going in, and I came in, we had like this jotter with a business plan written in ink pen, and they said to me, you're going to have to go away, you need to test the idea, we really don't. But they gave me £500 so that I could go out and start so I ran a women's event, and they could bring their kids and I could chat to them and different things like that, and from that it went to me getting £3,500, and then a level 2, which supported my salary for a year. But my business support came from the School for Social Entrepreneurs. I was in the 13-14 cohort. And
what's that all about?
So it's about business support. It's about looking at constitution, about what your constitution is in your social enterprise. It looks at business support, mentoring, action, learning sets. So a variety of different business opportunities and how you learn and grow in that. Finances, like accountancy, but all I can say is get an accountant on your board because it helps immensely.
Well, that's what boards are for.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So what kinds of networks have you found to be supportive to you or most useful to you?
I mean, I've got really great friends, which are absolutely great, fantastic. I couldn't do without them. I have a morning and I go, I can't do this anymore, I don't want to play. But I've been really blessed. I've had, I'm a member here. I'm on the board of the YWCA Scotland.
It's not all nepotism.
No, it's not. And I've had loads of great support, and I can call and speak to another social entrepreneur, someone in that business.
So do you find yourself easy attracting mentors, or do you just normal people? How does it work?
No, I think people are I'm really open to advice. See if someone else has experience in something, I will definitely ask you. Because I believe that it's learning, it's constant setting up a social enterprise. I have no background in business. I worked in mental health and none at all. And as I said about the procrastination of a form, I go to people and ask them if I think there's a possibility that they might be able to just offer that bit of support, because I want to move the business forward, because I want to then help other people and do other things with it. So I'm up for advice, I just ask.
And have you ever been, well, I'm not asking for specifics, but what happens if you don't agree, or if your gut says you don't agree with the advice that you're given?
I don't take it.
You don't take it, so you trust your gut first?
Yeah, absolutely. And I value the opinion, but it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to base that decision on that opinion.
No.
And that's been a challenge as well, because you grow in your kind of ability and confidence, and and even being called a social entrepreneur, there's something about it. I think, well, I just do what I do, and you know, but growing into that comfortably, and a businesswoman and a leader, and I think we're all leaders, you know, in the home, in your workplace, you know, wherever you might be, you're a leader in that, and it's about, you know, the decisions and the opportunities that are there. So yeah.
So you didn't set out 20 years ago, you never knew
When I
social
sold
entrepreneur.
fags.
You sold your fags. That was about being socially entrepreneurial.
No, I did not. No, it wasn't very social, but it made me money to buy shoes.
Well, actually, money is an interesting thing because social entrepreneurs. I mean, it's not the thing that you do if you want to earn a Porsche in your life.
Not at all.
And so that social entrepreneurs don't tend to earn anywhere near the same amount of money as private, non-profit, for-profit entrepreneurs. And I've been researching stuff for this show, as we all have been, and we found out that female social entrepreneurs pay themselves the equivalent of 29% less than their male counterparts. That's their choice, 29% less. So I want you to give yourself a pay rise when you can.
When I can.
I mean, there's actually apparently a 19% pay gap between men and women generally. So female social entrepreneurs pay themselves even less than that normal pay gap.
I think as well, it's like, for me, that would be about the value, about valuing the work that I do, and and I think that's changing. You know, that we should recognise that we do great stuff, and it isn't about the fact that because we care, that's all right. We shouldn't get 19% pay. Higher pay. We should get that because 29. Because it's valuing ourselves, and that then comes out in our enterprises and our work and our life and different things like that. So yeah, 29%. I'm putting it up.
Take it to the board.
Take it to the board.
So I'm interested to know, in terms, because cash flow is always a critical thing at the start of business. How did you manage your cash flow in these first few years? You know, £3,500, £500, not a lot of money. £3,500, you know, waters the throat. But how did you bankroll your cash flow through these first few years?
I think you've got to make some tough decisions sometimes, you know, about where you spend your money and how you spend your money. And I was really quite resourceful. I think I've always been. I think that's a gift of setting up a social enterprise. But yeah, I just held my breath and hoped it would work. It was like, really?
Tenacity.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Tenacity and faith. And just trying the best of what you've got, and just wee bits of cash have gone a long way. I'm quite prudent with money because we're a community interest company, so we're asset locked, and everything that the business owns stays there. So you have to be resourceful, and penny pinch and busking helps.
So if you were to, there's lots and lots of people who are interested in social enterprise these days. Apparently it's a rising career opportunity.
Well, that's great. Then more good will be done.
Well, that's right. You know, people aren't so motivated. They say, so the papers say about the sort of financial careers. So what is your top advice for aspiring social entrepreneurs who are coming along the path behind you?
Enjoy the journey. I know it's nothing profound, than just enjoy the journey, get good support, and do it. Really just go and do it.
Okay, on that note, Sylvia, thank you very much, and good luck with
Thank you.
your